pressure. Diamante with
Welcome back to All Out West. What a big week it is with the start of the A-League only days away. We've had Channel 10 thrashing it like its creator in 87 with the best ad campaign in years. And the cross-promotion, like Archie Thompson's on freaking MasterChef. Tara Russian's getting a spot on the project. How good is the A-League this year? This week we are joined with Leb. Oh, wait, no Leb. It's Jay and Kelsey. How's it going, guys?
Hey, how are we? Yeah, good.
Not bad. First FFA Cup games down. It's been a big week, and now we're into the start of the real stuff.
Yeah, I'm a bit hoarse after that weekend. It was good to get back to the football, but I'll give it a crack today. Glad to be back.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a fun one. And now let's get into a bit of like what's happening around the club update. Oh, yeah, we've upgraded our deal here. So we've got a few new banners and stuff. So straight off the bat, Western United is proud to announce a partnership with Japanese crypto exchange company JPEX, who will join the club as a gold partner ahead of the 21-22 season. JPEX will also sponsor United defender and reigning player of the season, Tomoki Imai, throughout the upcoming season. The general manager of commercial manager, Chris Speldwind, that's a new one for me. Good one. Yep. But he praised the new partnership, saying it shows the club is agile in the modern marketplace. What do you think? What are your thoughts on it, Kelsey?
I think it's actually a really smart move, especially them being a Japanese-based company sponsoring the Japanese star that we've got in Tomoki Imai. Tomoki's well loved by the fan base. It's a different one out there for the A-League. We haven't really had any crypto sponsorship deals.
Yeah, with crypto, you're starting to see it more and more. Of course, with characters like Elon Musk pushing it, it's become more and more popular amongst the mainstream. Well, I couldn't say audience, I'd just say the internet. It's quite popular. So to get one, although it's not listed on the exchange where I lose all my money in crypto, so I couldn't find it, but hopefully I will be able to soon, and hopefully it goes to the moon.
Well, there was that thing last year where Tony Sage was working with that London crypto exchange or whatever. So that was probably the first instance I remember, but that obviously went downhill, and this is more of a sponsorship than selling part of the club. But I think it's interesting, and putting a bit of because they got individual player sponsorships as well for the club as well. Like you get a few perks and stuff. So I think it's interesting. It's good to see different kind of businesses investing in the Australian game, specifically Western United.
Exactly.
You go.
No, I was just saying exactly. And it's good that we're tapping into that Asian market too.
Exactly. Closest neighbor. We're competing in it. It's probably a bit more visibility for our club in that region as well. So I don't see a con with it. Yeah. Okay. Alessandro Diamante and Josh Risdon have been announced as captain and vice captain. Jay, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we all really thought it was going to be a no-brainer with Diamante being the captain, lead up Euro experience, and maybe not his second season, but he had a cracking first season with us, and he's been pretty good for us. So no surprises there. I'm pretty sure this is Josh Risdon's first crack in a leadership position. I think he even said in his interview that it was something foreign to him. But a player of his, he's not super old, but his experience levels, his age, I think it'd be probably a good role for him to undertake, and it'd be good because he just looks like a natural leader when he's on the pitch. He's well spoken, and I think he brings a lot to that leadership position. So to have probably our most two experienced players as captain and vice captain, really it's a no-brainer. Pretty happy with it.
I'd have to agree. No-brainer. Really clear. I think they were impressed with Risdon's leadership off the field last year with his injuries. I think that's what helped get him into the vice captain role. He was actually, I noticed his voice quite a bit in the game against the Jets on the weekend. So I think they've made some good appointments here.
Yeah, I think he commented in the interview that he was becoming one of the older heads around the club. So he's gone, wow, this is a bit not a new challenge for me, but he's excited to do so. And I think he's got the experience to do it. My only concern would be, will he be fit and injury free all season? Which leads me to my FIFA 21 team. It says he's injury prone. That upsets me. It's killed me twice in my FIFA career. It's upsetting me.
You really were complaining about it on Saturday before we went to the game.
He was. Yeah.
Well, he came through. He came through Saturday, all right, to my knowledge. Diamante actually, so I saw walk off with ice on his foot, but we'll get to that later, I suppose. So maybe he might have to step up to proper captain sooner rather than later, Joshy. But we've got a lot of new players and a lot of players that have been there a while. So even if those two are unfit and aren't playing, you've got players like even Connor Payne that can come in and I think fill that leadership role because they've got A-League experience and they're pretty, they're pretty prominent around the club. They've been there since day dot. So I don't think leadership's going to be a problem at Western United this season.
Completely agree. Any other final comments, guys?
No, I think we covered that pretty well.
That was a nice quick one. Let's move on to something different, guys.
Ooh.
Oh, wait,
game
wrong
review,
one.
Isn't it?
Sorry, it's out of order.
There we go.
On that one.
I was going to say, don't throw me into that yet.
Now, on Saturday the 13th of November, Western United participated in their first FFA Cup clash, and wow, what an experience. How good was it to be back in the stands and see the service crew in full effect? I was going to ask Leb this, but his voice is done. Jay, whose voice is also pretty gone. How are you traveling? What was the vibe like on the day?
Well, we started pretty early. A few of us caught up around in Wyndham Vale just for a couple of pre-drinks, to sort of catch up. So that was about midday. By the time we got to the pub, it was about 4 o'clock, and starting to get pretty antsy, pretty excited. Had a really good pre-game at the pub. A lot of people showed up, and honestly, that was probably, other than the win, the highlight of my day was just getting down to the pub and catching up with all the guys that we haven't seen. Pretty much, I haven't seen a lot of them since Tasmania, which was 6 months plus ago. So to see, probably not full effect, but the majority of the Western Service crew and the fans surrounding us coming back and supporting the club, just to see them down at the pub and then at the game. Yeah, it was really, really good and exciting, and hopefully we can continue that into next week and the coming weeks with all the games we've got coming up.
Yeah, it really was a good vibe around the day, from the friends that were made with the LA volleyball team or netball, whatever it was, to the Crossbar Capers lads being there. It was a really fun day. Yeah, they had a big day, but it was great catching up with everyone. I hadn't seen a lot of the lads in a long time, and despite everything, the terrible weather, not a lot of promotion, there were free tickets, but we managed over 1,000 tickets. I'll just double check the number, Kelsey, if you want to give me a highlight of your day there, Kelsey.
Look, enjoyed seeing the lads again. Enjoyed the full voice of everyone at the ground. I enjoyed Alex coming and meeting us and introducing herself from the A-League women's side.
Yeah, Alexandra Sinclair. Alex Sinclair, who we interviewed with Amanda Stella. She's really great. We're going to have her again on throughout the season because she's great. She's going to keep us up to date with not only Calder United, but the W League team as that progresses as well. But that was great meeting her. It's really we're back out during a bit of a post-COVID era. We're not finally through it, but it's like the mask on, mask off situation. It's but a lot of fun.
Look, there were probably two cons for me for the entire day. One, the subarctic temperatures. That was not fun time. Two was probably some of the heavy-handedness from the COVID marshals. One of them, for example, while our nephew was going to the bathroom, they tried to send us back to our seats.
Yeah,
that was probably. It was just a bit of heavy-handedness. Once you even when you tried to explain it, I know you need to go back to seat. Took a minute to realise, hang on a minute, it's a child in there. Probably can't go back to seat till the child's out. bit of logic there. But yeah, other than that, it was a really fun, positive experience.
Yeah.
I also, we've been quite critical of GMHBA Stadium and their staff. They did give us a little bit of grief, but honestly, I think it's also a trial for them because they haven't had to run an event in this sort of COVID era like this before. And hopefully, if it all goes according to plan, it should be better next week, but they're going to have probably 10 times the amount of people to deal with, at least at the victory game. So let's hope they're up to it. Otherwise, it could be, pretty rough.
On that note, that was a perfect segue, Jay. I appreciate that. We had a attendance of 1,127, which was quite surprising. There's a lot of people in the upper grandstand because we're all in one side. And 10 times, you're correct. The stadium capacity for the victory game is 13,000. And from what I've heard, we're at 10,000 seats sold. So make sure everyone jumps on that. Support the first team back. This is a great way to support your club. Buying tickets, use your membership, get in. This is one of the big games for our club coming up. But we're going to get back to the FFA Cup before we get too sidetracked because we'll do it. Now, the game was off to a brash start with a yellow card to the Jets' Elsie, 5 minutes deep. And then one followed a couple minutes later to Lustica. Kelsey, do you think this game was a little rough around the edges for all players involved, meaning they're not fully there yet?
I think it was, but I think the good thing about it being an FFA Cup game as opposed to a preseason hit-out was there was something to play for. So I think it was a good competitive match leading up into the season. I actually think it's been a bit of an advantage for us heading into the season, having such a competitive hit-out so early.
Yeah, I think, look, had we not come away with the win, honestly, I wouldn't be too fussed, even though it was our first FFA Cup game and still it's a competitive game. But we're going to have to play, I think, a couple more games or at least one more game to get up to the stage where a lot more A-League teams already are. And ultimately, it is nice playing for something. It's nice winning something. It's nice winning our first ever FFA Cup game. But it really didn't. It felt like more of a preseason game. The vibes, because we've not really seen a lot of our team playing together and having that chance to gel. But a lot of what I saw on the pitch gave me hopes for our first league game coming up. So definitely good having a game that's worth a bit more than a preseason friendly as sort of your warm up match for the league to kick off.
Definitely. Kelsey, what are your thoughts?
Like I said, as I was saying earlier, it was good to just have a bit of a competitive head out. I'm going to be interested to see the lineups coming up into the next game versus this game. I think some COVID impacts were still playing on the team, and people are still coming from quarantine, haven't had enough training yet, and that. But I'm really I was happy we got the win.
Completely agree.
Yeah, definitely.
What were your thoughts on how we lined up?
Pretty strong lineup, I think. Probably not far off what we're going to be throwing at the victory, I'd say. Even though I'd say our goal scorer Prijovic is probably the more experienced of the forwards we have available. I think we'll actually start Dylan Wenzel-Halls probably because of fitness. The only player I really see moving out of that lineup is probably Lustica for Rene Krin if he's fit. Other than that, pretty close to our full strength 11, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'll get more into it in the game preview ahead of victory, but yeah, I think it was the best lineup we had available to start, and then the subs, obviously, as you said, Prijovic doesn't have quite the fitness or the sharpness yet, having only just gotten out of quarantine recently. Dylan Wenzel-Halls, though, I have to say, was very lively. I really enjoyed his movement.
We had a lot of pace for that first 20 minutes, and we looked dangerous. My big comment probably for it and the game in general is I felt there was a lot of we conceded a lot, probably in Garuccio's kind of like, is it a left back? I don't like a wing kind of. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
No, he was a left back. We were playing with 4 at the back.
Yeah. I felt that there was a few turnovers and a bit of problems there, and I'm a big fan of Garuccio, so I'd like to see that tighten up. Big fan of Lacroix. He's like 80 foot tall, and like, dude, he literally like he just does a little tiny jump, and he's just
I was
like
about to say it's like he runs like a gazelle. it's almost mesmerizing seeing someone that tall move that fast. I was very impressed with LaCroix, however we say
Lacroix.
it.
I think it's Lacroix. Is it Lacroix?
I heard LaCroix. I heard LaCroix on the day, but I think we should.
Happy to be wrong. I googled it. Like, they're challenging us with names this season, aren't they?
Yeah.
But very good game. I think Risdon was in top form, and we'll get into that a little bit more. West United really pushed the ball forward on either wing, with Risdon and Wales running forward with Dia feeding the ball. Do you think this was a successful strategy?
It was. I also liked that either Lustica or Kilkenny would drop back to support the defence while to allow Risdon to get up forward where he can naturally, kill teams and slice them open and give us good ball product too. The other thing I noticed too was it was a bit weird that we kept doing like crosses into the box for Dylan Wenzel-Halls, but then we're playing long like through balls for Prijovic. It seemed to be the wrong way around for each striker's strengths. But I think that might be because Prijovic I'm expecting to start, and that's what they'll be doing early. And then when Dylan Wenzel-Halls comes on, I think that's when they'll be doing the long through balls. So I think they just stuck to the plan regardless of who was actually in the position at the time, just while they're getting used to John Aloisi's tactics.
Yeah, I completely agree with Elsie. I was going to say the biggest problem I think we had with our first half was the fact that we were whipping in some pretty hard to get to balls for the little fellas up front. We had Lockie Wales and Dylan Wenzel-Halls, who aren't the tallest. They're quick, they're nimble, they're great with the ball at their feet, and they can header. However, it's always going to be hard to climb up over those big man mountain centre backs at the Jets. I think Prijovic would have been much more well suited to do that. But also throwing out, like, Prijovic came on pretty fresh, so you can also play him through balls. He looks like he's quick enough to get onto a few of them. I really didn't have a problem with what we were doing getting up into the final third. It felt like that last ball into the box, mainly in the first half, was lacking until the Wales goal, which was really chaos that sort of caused that. And then he pounced. We really didn't get a clean goal this game without causing chaos. But, it doesn't really matter how they come. It's just we can't rely on screw-ups from the back for all our goals. Going to have to be a bit more clean against Victory because they're going to bring it.
Yeah. Do you guys want to watch the goal again?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh, actually, no, let me rephrase that. Do you guys want to watch the not a
Maybe
goal?
we should show the first non-goal.
Yep. So let's lead into this. For those who didn't watch the game was not without its controversies. Yeah, the Jets' first goal was not called despite crossing the line and then spinning back. I would like to say this is the best thing Jamie Young did all day. He didn't have his best game, but this was a masterclass. No one can hear us while the video's playing. Just a heads up, guys. We hadn't discussed it, but yeah, let's do this.
Angus Thurgate with the shot. And Jamie Young makes a meal of it. That's over the line.
I think that's crossed the line.
That has to be a goal.
I think that.
Jeez, it didn't look good at it.
No, not at all.
Honestly, without the VAR there, it's hard to call. But it's also, it really looked over on the TV. But also worth mentioning, whole of the ball, whole of the line. We didn't see directly above it. It's hard to tell. If the linesman didn't call it, we got no VAR. Let's play on. I guess we got lucky.
And that's correct. And I would just like to say, do you think Jack Duncan was our 12th man this game?
Oh, yeah.
If we were doing votes for the season, he'd get all of mine straight off the bat.
Oh yeah. But on the flip side, almost was Jamie Young there, man of the match as well. So, although I think Jamie made a couple of mistakes. That was the biggest one, but he actually had a pretty solid game. Like, if he tightens those real howlers up, because he probably had like 2 real, like, oh, what's going on moments, and then made some brilliant saves as well. So it's like, maybe he's a bit out of sorts at a new club. He's definitely a really good shot stopper. Maybe he's just a bit out of touch, but I see more positives than negatives out of Jamie's performance on the weekend. So worst case scenario, we got Ryan Scott to come back in, and if he keeps flapping the ball around.
Let's get into that. Let's talk about it. And if you look to the right-hand corner, they took our Scott. There's a lot of people in the fan base who were really surprised by the Jamie Young signing and thought that was a bit of a kick in the teeth to Ryan Scott, who was he's a bit of a folk hero after last season. He performed gallantly after what happened. But I really see this as a positive for Ryan Scott's development to be going to compete for that number, like for the goalkeeper role every week with someone as good as Jamie Young. I know there's a couple. You go.
No, I'll go. I think it is really good for him. Going back to the season review, I mentioned that Ryan Scott save percentage was in the low 70s. It was low to mid 70s from memory. And that was probably the one area he could really improve on. I think having Jamie Young, who I believe had the highest save percentage last year, can really help him in that development and help improve him to that next level.
Exactly.
Competition's not a bad thing. You want that depth. You want that competition. You want people who are unlucky missing out on games and who are hungry and ready to just come on and kill it.
I also do think we'll have a few games coming thick and fast at some point in the year. Would not surprise me if we see Ryan get in there, get a game and impress. Because if in case everyone forgot, he definitely had better form than Kurt. And that's why he stayed in. Mark Rudin last year, when we were winning, said, it'd be pretty much criminal of me to take Scotty out of this side now that he's come in and won us a couple of games. So if he can do it all again, then he's definitely cemented himself as the number one. But until then, it's the big thing is Young was at Brisbane for a while. Aloisi at Brisbane. They're probably boys. Aloisi probably trusts Jamie a lot more than he can trust Ryan at this point. So it's up to Ryan to take his chance when he gets it. Hopefully, Jamie can do well for us this season, and we don't need Ryan, as crap as that sounds. But it's just good to know that you've got 2 world-class goalies in your squad, and that they're pretty much interchangeable. And I'm not worried if either one of them's playing. I'm not thinking, we got our second choice in today, which not many clubs, I think, around the world can say.
Definitely not. 100% agree. Like, I would be happy any day of the week to have Ryan Scott there, but I also like that he's learning from such an experienced keeper to work with him like he did Curto. So, Galsy, any thoughts?
No, I think we've summed it up really well. And I think definitely there will be rotation between FFA Cup, now that we're in the next round, and games. There's going to be rotation. There's no doubt about it.
100%.
I don't want to win that cup. Very
100%. ACL playoff spot as well. That's great. Now, Jay, what were your expectations leading to the game for the new striker, Prijovic?
Oh, man, I didn't think we'd even see him. I thought I don't think probably training that long. I didn't think we'd see him at all. So to see that he was actually, on the team sheet, and then obviously not starting, but, on the bench, I thought, he's probably just there maybe for morale. Then he come on and he scores. Pretty wrapped with it, to be completely honest. I mean, I'd probably be a bit worried, but to see Prijovic come on, score a pretty easy goal and get off the mark, pretty happy, pretty excited, and hopefully he can poach a few, because that was Berisha-esque, in my opinion. Just right place, right time, and not a hard ball. I think any one of us on the podcast probably could have put that one away, but you'll love to see it. Hopefully he bags another few.
Do you want to watch it now?
Yeah, wouldn't be mad at it.
A chance for Lockie Wales here. Oh, Jack Duncan makes a mistake. Lockie Wales will capitalise. And out of nothing, Western United take the advantage.
He's made something out of nothing there, Lockie Wales.
Oh, Duncan makes a terrible error. Prijovic scores. And Jack Duncan has had a night to forget. A nightmare, in fact, for the Newcastle Jets.
R1 circle, finesse shot straight in. Any one of us could have done it.
I don't even think he did that. We also showed the Lockie Wales goal as well because I put them in the same file to watch. But
yeah,
Lockie Wales did really well. That was a communication error by Duncan and his defender. We're laughing.
Still a good finish and a good capitalisation.
Exactly. That's what Lockie Wales is great at. And having him being able to poach, get up there, I think will complement Prijovic. Maybe I think that'll be great. And that goal, it was just lazy fair. It was just like, oh, look, check this shit out. And then he went over to the Jets fans and got in him.
Honestly, a bit disappointed that Prijovic didn't walk the ball up to the goal line and then lie down and head it in. That would have just been an absolute class act. But, it's different. Probably don't mess around with it.
Look, the only thing I'll disagree with is I don't think it was an R1 circle. I think it was more just a simple X into the net. He just simply passed it in there.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to score an easier goal like that in the A-League, you'd think. So, probably not the most flashy way to get off the mark, but not mad at it.
We'd like to thank, before we get into it, I've got a bit of a stat of the day. Do you know who had the highest the most passes for the day out of our team? And someone we haven't spoken about much today.
Kilkenny.
I'll give it a crack.
Yep.
Damn, I was going to say Kilkenny too.
Yeah, we haven't spoken about him today, but he bossed midfield. We can't take him out of midfield for anyone. I'm very intrigued to see him in action. He's always been a beast in midfield. He can come back defensively, but he can also push forward. He's got some pretty good ball work. He also took some corners for Diamante as well. So this gives us a bit more room to move to give Diamante less minutes or rest him for games against, say, Jets.
Now, back to those corners. I am with short corners like Kelsey is with hyphenated names. I cannot stand short corners. Neil, I know you don't listen to this, but no more short corners, man. No more short corners. Just whip it. I don't know if they've been practicing something on the training ground and it's been working, but might work against the under 23s boys. But when you're playing against, an A-League club, just whip the ball in, man. You get a corner, use it.
I agree. To me, a short corner is a wasted opportunity to shot a goal, or an opportunity to shoot a goal. To me, it more often than not, it does not pay off. Normally, it gets blocked by the bloody defender who's run up to stop it.
For a short corner to work, it's got to be perfectly executed, like a training ground drill. But I think the cross, the ball straight into the box from the corner. When you got players like Leo that tower above everyone on the pitch that are there to header the ball in or even cause a bit of chaos. Yeah. Maybe they were just trying something out. Hopefully we do see a goal from a short corner. I'll be pretty happy with that. I just don't want to be doing it as at the frequency we were. That was just a bit worrying. But maybe Neil had practiced it and had some success with it. We'll see what happens.
Exactly. That stat was from A-League Live, which you'll see their logo in the corner of this corner of the screen. And if you're as passionate about West United as we are, you won't want to miss any of this season's A-League action. And the easiest, quickest, and best way to catch every game from every angle is with the A-League Live app. Search for A-League Live app or Sportsmate in the app or Google Play stores. We will also have links to it in the audio version of the podcast description. We're big fan of the app. We use it for all our stats and have since season 1. Big fans. Check it out.
It's a brilliant app.
Yeah.
It gives you all the stats you can need.
Can't talk more. Like, I've been using them since I had a smartphone. 10 years, I reckon, I've been using Sportsmate. Better than the EPL app. They also do, well, we've said this before, but AFL, NRL, they do it all well. Cannot recommend it highly enough.
Yeah. So check them out. And are you guys up for any final comments on the FFA game?
No, like I said,
Hopefully we beat Victory by more than 2-1. Hopefully it's only up and up from here, because if this is the low point of the season, I'll be pretty happy with it.
I'll take it. Now, Kelsey, would you like to get into
the actual game preview this time.
Yeah, I got it right.
So you've made a nice comment here that we played. It's the Victory game preview. So on Saturday, 20 November at 7:45, GMHB Stadium, we take on Melbourne Victory, or as the club call them, Melbourne Victory, because I don't like to acknowledge the V. But I think I like your Victory just that little bit more in our season opener. Now, obviously, last week, Western United, we've spoken about it. We won 2-1 in the FFA Cup, whilst Victory drew 2-2 against Avondale in a pre-season match. Both teams will be looking to bounce back after last year's disappointing season, with a new coach and players hoping to start the season, their respective seasons with a win. Wallace, after a 2-1 win against the Jets, what changes the lineup are you hoping to see, if any?
Just looking at the lineup, I would like to see more minutes from Prijovic, but I'm not going to hold my breath. If we're going to continue with the back four, Lacroix and Imai both solid. Again, we didn't mention Imai, but he had another solid game. Probably Sticker's probably the only person that and Wenzel Halls. I'd have somewhat like if Rene Karin is good to go, I'd have him in there, and maybe Prijovic. Topper Stanley is a beast as well, so if we had a back three, we'd have Topper Stanley there. You know what I mean? Like it's a hard one having the two centre backs. Yeah. What about you guys?
Yeah. Well, sorry, I'm just whipping up this team sheet again, double checking. Pretty happy with the way we came out. Probably pretty sure that's probably our fittest 11 at the moment.
Yeah.
Only thing is, Lustica I find was a bit disappointing, although I felt like he started a bit rough and slowly came in the game a bit, maybe not enough. But who knows, maybe he just needs a bit more fitness. We have seen really good things from Lustica, especially early on last season and towards the end of our first season. So we definitely know he's got the goods. If he can produce them again, we're on. But I'd probably start Rankin if we got him, and maybe Parias as well instead of even Lockie Wales, and bring Lockie Wales on as our impact player. I think Parias showed a lot of promise last season. I'm not 100% sure. Did he get a run? I don't think he did in the FFA Cup.
Who are you saying?
Parias, he did get a quick run.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I thought I remembered him. He looked all right. I'm pretty sure in our FFA Cup run.
We didn't cover it, but he had an offside goal.
Yeah. So, was that from the corner, or was that the one early on in the first half?
I can't remember.
Through and scored. That's all right.
No, it was the second half.
Yeah,
it was late. It was late in the second half. Basically, he was in an offside position when it deflected off, come off Duncan, and then he sort of tapped it in. But it was all in an offside position.
Hey, I'll still, at least he put it away. It's even though it doesn't count, you don't want to be screwing around with any chances you got. So I think I'd probably bring in Price for Wales, even though Wales scored. But then again, it's hard. It's really up to Aloisi, seeing how well they train, because we've got a lot of great players to pick from. I don't think we'll put forward a disappointing starting 11. That's for sure. Even if we put forward the same one that we used in the FFA Cup, I'll be content with it. I wouldn't be wouldn't be putting all my faith in those players to beat Victory, because I think Victory are going to come at Western United pretty hard, but we definitely have all the tools to get the win on Saturday.
Well, yeah, look, I suspect it'll be the same starting 11. If all the players were fit, I would be, like we've already discussed, Dylan Wenzel-Hall for Prijovic and Rene in for Lustica. That's where I suspect it'll be as the strongest starting 11. But, you got to take it each game and tactics will change. And speaking of tactics, Jake, what are you looking for as team tactics going into this match?
Well, I think we're going to probably be playing 4 at the back again. It's something that Johnny's gone with pretty much his whole career, from what I can remember seeing. Tactically, I think we'll be putting a lot of long balls through to Prijovic to try and get on the end of, bring down, or a lot of crosses for Prijovic, sorry, and a lot of long balls for the faster boys. I expect to see players like Connor Payne getting much, much further up the pitch than he usually would, and now that he's got that cover from Garuccio. And I actually wouldn't be surprised if even Leo gets a bit further up to play in some through balls and to chop out the midfield. So I think when we can get a decent period of possession going, I think we'll play some high-paced, pass-intensive and forward-pressing football, which also leads us open to get countered. So I think ultimately, I wouldn't be surprised to see a similar scoreline from our FFA Cup game in our game against the Victory. I think the Victory are going to come at us pretty hard with their lineup as well. I think they're going to want to score and they're going to want a repeat of the 6-0 drubbing they gave us. But I think it's going to be very open up I think we're going to attack a lot. It's going to leave the game very open. It's going to invite the Victory on. And then I think it'll just be back and forth attacking for decent periods of the game, followed by probably some down periods where there's just a bit of, having a breather and passing it around. But I think we're going to be pressing pretty hard with the players we've got.
Your thoughts, Wallace?
I think I'm not very confident going into this game. Melbourne Victory, in their wisdom, managed to secure their manager early and recruited early and probably hit the ground running a bit better than we did with a manager change. So I expect us to peak a bit later in the season. So I'm not overly concerned about this. But after the 8-game losing streak we were on at the end of last season, I'd really like to see the boys get up, especially under a new manager. I definitely think we'll be playing that kind of attacking football. I just hope we can align how we're trying to serve our striker to their actual height. Yeah, that's a quick question though. Do you think Leo Lacroix has only ever purchased a 2-step step ladder because he's never needed anything?
I don't think he's ever needed a step ladder full stop.
I think, worst case, he's had to find a small rock to stand on, maybe.
Hey, maybe an A4 sheet of paper.
Yep. Dude, his brisk jump he's just ridiculously tall. So I've got a lot of confidence in our back line. It's tightening it to get it to the point where it's a fit really good. I'd keep Jamie Young in there. I think that's going to be really important. Yeah, and I think we'll play pretty consistently. I'm not expecting Rene in. I reckon we probably won't see him till a couple rounds in until he's got his fitness because he like Prijovic, they come out of quarantine pretty late. Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. I'm really excited to see what a number of teams have done. There's a Victory is one of the ones I'd love to see what they've done this year because I think a strong Victory is good for the league.
It is.
Sorry, Kelly, you go through first.
No, it looks like you have a final point, so I'll let you do that, and then we'll go into the last part.
It was more of a segue, but Christian, I think Theo Harris picked up from Victory.
We got him from a Bangladesh club.
He was Victory Youth, I think.
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely played for Victory. Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
So it'd be good to see him come on and grab a couple for us on the weekend. we do have a lot of pace and a lot of youth in our attack. So I don't think it's going to be a 0-0 game. I think both teams will score.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
I'll hold you there and we'll go into the actual tips. So, basically, from 6 games played, Western United currently lead with 4 wins, with 1 loss and 1 draw, which is that unfortunate 6-0 drubbing in the last game. What are your predictions?
Jay,
I'll
you
throw
go.
to you, Wallace, first.
Sorry,
Okay, I'll go.
This
Okay.
one.
Okay, so I'm going to predict 3-2, and I'm going to back the boys. It's going to be high scoring. It's going to be end to end, and it's going to be chaos and amazing watch.
Jay, where are you sitting on this?
We can't agree on everything in this podcast. I was going to say 3-2. I'm going to go 3-1 United.
Oh,
I think we score
I'm
a
gonna
couple early. They get one back, and then we finish the game off late.
I'm going to go real crazy on this 3-3 draw.
that's good for everybody watching.
It's good for Channel 10, good for Paramount.
I think it'll be a bit of an open banger of a game because both teams aren't settled yet. I think, like we've all agreed on the attacking football, I think it's just going to lead to some chaos.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think we could find it be a lot like if you ever watch Liverpool and versus Man U, it's either a high scoring goal fest with just non-stop action, or it's a 0-0 draw with a few moments of greatness. But I hope it's the high scorer one. I've got a gut feeling it will be, but there's always the chance that these games sort of peter out into nothingness just because of the tension, the build up, the start of the season, and then no team really wants to lose, so no team really goes for it. Could be a draw. That would not surprise me either, but I think it's going to be a high scoring win for either side. Hopefully, us.
Yeah. Now, from what we've heard, the tickets are close to selling out, and as you said earlier, the capacity for the game will be $13,000. Basically, we want to say to everyone, make sure you get out there.
$30,000.
13,000 people. Geez, $3,000. That was a terrible blooper. Oh well, look. Basically, what we're really trying to do is say to everyone, get out there and support the boys ahead of the weekend, and everyone is meeting at the Barwon Club for the pre-game as well. So, if you're keen to check it out, come down, have a look, and let's get nice and loud for the boys.
100%. Now, do we want to talk about the episode's sponsor?
Yes. Billy J, you can help shine a little bit of light on this, on who the sponsor might be.
Well, the sponsor actually helped me out a great deal this week. Before we went down to the game, I'm going to be honest with you boys, I needed to do a little bit of manscaping downstairs. It was giving me the itches and the jocks, and look who came through. It was Manscaped, our new sponsor. They provide a fantastic men's grooming kit, not just for, your downstairs areas, but for your face as well. Great shaver, the Lawnmower 4.0.
Yeah.
Do we have an ad read, or
I have an ad read. I have an ad
honestly,
read.
Honestly, we can do an ad read, but the product's actually good. I would, they're not just paying us to say it's good. It's good.
Now,
It really is good stuff.
Yeah.
We'll go through the ad
before we
read.
do, Jay, do you just want to read out the special code we've got, the promo code?
Oh, yes, sorry. Our promo code, AWAW21 for 20% off and free shipping at checkout. Gives you that's a pretty good bonus. That's also in USD, so you get a little bit more bang for your buck with that one. So promo code AWAW21 at checkout for free shipping at manscaped.com.
Fun fact, I didn't put a space between free and shipping, so it's for shipping. But let's get into this. So support for All Out West is brought to you by Manscaped, who's the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. As you mentioned, Jay, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code AWAW21 at manscaped.com. Now, let's get to a little bit about it. Imagine shaving with a sleek, well-designed and optimized trimmer that makes you shaving time your favorite time in the bathroom.
Honestly, man, this product just rocks. I'm not even kidding. I was
Yeah.
so keen. Oh, I like that. Yeah, you get a good little package when you buy it. You get a lot of what is it? The deodorant. Man, that was fantastic. I don't know if you boys have used that as well. You get the boxer shorts. Man, it just keeps you. I was at the game on Saturday. I've never felt more free in my life. It was just, yeah, it's a good product. We do, although they are giving us a chop out, do definitely recommend it.
Now, onto that, we were some of the first people to try the new 4.0, and all of us in our group chat have been blown away by the performance, the craftsmanship, and the details, the exquisite packaging. It's a really well-defined product. Now, Kelsey?
So the thing that really impressed me, like, look, no real secret here. I'm not the most hairiest person on the planet. Like, I'm not. But the ease of use for that product is so easy. Like, it was so simple to just use. The instructions are really clear. They're funny as well. And they give you everything you could possibly need to, look after yourself.
Definitely. I was blown away by the whole concept behind the packaging. It's a nice kit. For instance, away games this year, you're traveling, you're at a big day out. The crop reviver you could use if you're a bit sweaty down there. Like if you do Adelaide away in a 35-degree day, get some crop reviver on your nads. That'll sort you out. You know what I mean? You don't want to be going to the pub afterwards stinking. Like that's just the way it is. Like you got to take care of yourself. You feel good. You look good. You feel like it'd be great, better day for everyone, especially on the bus ride home.
Worth mentioning as well. Completely waterproof, water resistant. It charges wirelessly, just in the dock. And we've had a bit of wild weather the last week. My light went out in my bathroom. I had to fix it, but I didn't have the materials. But guess what? I could still shave in the dark because the Lawnmower 4.0 has a light. It's unbelievable.
A spotlight, to be specific.
A spotlight.
Yeah.
No nicks. I could have easily just nuded myself, but not with a Lawnmower 4.0. Never go back to scissors again.
That's why, because the upgraded trimmer includes a multi-function on and off switch with a 4000K LED spotlight. I just can't rage on about this enough. I think
don't forget the travel lock. That is also really handy.
Oh, the travel lock. Yeah. Well, a lot of people like traveling. You go on an away day. You might have lined up a date. You want to make sure you're good down there. The travel lock, so it doesn't go off in your bag whilst you're on the plane or in the car or whatever. Man,
not going to lose that battery life.
Exactly. If you've been shaving with the same nut trimmer on your face, you've been doing it wrong. No person wants to end up with pubes in their mouth. It's time to get your own ball hair and body trimmer with Manscaped to make me time the best time and enhance your confidence with some nice, smooth boys. Get 20% off with shipping with the code. Jay, what is it?
AWAW, which is all West, aren't we? 21 for 20% and free shipping at checkout. That's at manscaped.com. Once again, AWAW21.
Your balls will thank you. And let's get back into it, lads. Sweet. Now, do you know what's next, guys? Do you want to know?
Oh, no. I haven't started.
I might actually have to remember to do it this year.
I bucket this up every... Hang on, let me re-download the ESPN app. I'll be right back.
So it's okay. What we're saying to everyone, we're running the All Out West tipping competition again. Last year, Andrew Tran got the biscuits. We can't let him do that again. If you want to join, go to ESPN Footy Tips, either the app or the website. Search Western_United, all lowercase. Sorry about that, guys. And yeah, get in and We've been speaking to the club about a really cool prize this year. So, yeah, it's going to be sick. You'll also get the toilet seat trophy that has Andrew Tran's the reigning champion. You cannot let him have that. You know what I mean? Or will he get it again? The fun thing is no one in the podcast can actually win the major prize. So whoever gets the top score, not from the actual podcast, will get this prize and or they won't get the trophy because that will go to whoever actually wins. But the prize will go to the best seated non-podcast member. So yeah, pretty keen.
Are you kidding? So I can't even win the toilet seat trophy.
You can win the toilet seat. You can't win the actual prize because that's
oh no, I don't care about the actual. I just want the glory of the seat. That's all.
The most prestigious title in the All Out West universe. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Make sure you get in. It's always great. There's also a number of great dream teams happening as well. I joined one. I look forward to forgetting about it in 6 weeks. Now, do you guys want to go to Around the Grounds?
Yeah,
sure. I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying
these banners.
Yeah, I spent some time on it today. But so the league has recently announced the Meetup app, which is, I'm pretty sure it's Meetup. But yeah, it's an app with all EPL, A-League, and all national leagues information there. Kind of a one-touch situation. They've spent $30 million on this. It's kind of going to replace the MyFootball app. And yeah, what do you guys think of this? / have you guys installed it?
I didn't even know it existed up until you said so. They probably should have spent more money on advertising. But I'm going to download it now, and I'll give you my review in about a minute.
Okay. Well, let's talk.
So I'll just give a quick opinion on it. I think considering the league is not flush with money, I think that's a lot of investment where it could be used elsewhere in a better way. But let's see how it goes.
But the thing is, that could be a really good money earner in a sense of ad revenue, links to possibly like odds or something. I don't see why anyone would because A-League Live exists. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Sorry. Just quickly, which app is it? Because
it's Keep Up.
Keep Up. It's not Meetup. Because I looked up Meetup and I've got a lot of like dating sites, but I think I'll save them for later.
It's Keep Up. Sorry, buddy.
There's an idea though. A-League betting app. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't want any royalties. You can use that. You've got the money. Develop it.
So yeah, it's called Keep Up. I haven't tried it yet, but that's a big deal. The next thing is discussions have taken place between the Victorian government and the FA for the state to host a Socceroos World Cup qualifier against either Japan or Vietnam early in the year. FA are optimistic about one of those games being played in Melbourne.
That's
what
great.
Are your thoughts? And do you have a preference in who they play?
I mean, obviously Japan's the bigger game, but I'm happy either way. We've got a decent Vietnamese population in Victoria as well, so either game I see is a good opportunity. Well, do you know if they're looking at Amy or Etihad?
No, there wasn't a lot of info.
I'd say from previous World Cup qualifiers against the smaller clubs, even I'd probably be at Amy Park. I've done a couple World Cup qualifiers at Amy Park. And even though it's only probably 3,000 odd, it's an absolutely rocking atmosphere. I'd probably recommend keeping it at Amy Park.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that's where I sit. I just know we've done games at Etihad against Japan in the past, and it's sort of cost us a little bit. I'd prefer Amy Park for this, for either game.
Yeah, 100%. Like the good part about, like you said, Japan, Vietnam, they both have like great support here. So it would really feel like a home away game because you have that away contingent of Japanese or Vietnamese fans, and then the rest of a packed 30K stadium, all Socceroos. Western Service Crew probably have to figure something out and jump into that active as well, because I'll be very keen on that. That as much as we love club football, there's nothing like international football. So if they can get that back to Melbourne ASAP, very keen on that and very keen on progressing into the World Cup finals.
I'm pretty available for like any of the either Vietnam or Japan to jump on. I love Japanese and Vietnamese beer. If anything, the Western Service Crew is like 80% freaking rivets. They should really be jumping on the Vietnamese train there because they're manufactured in Vietnam. But yeah, I think it's great. Great, it'd be amazing to see Socceroos in action. And you guys want to move on to the next bit?
Yep.
Championship side Birmingham City want Riley McGree's loan deal from MLS franchise Charlotte extended to the end of the season. The 23-year-old is currently due to head to America in December because they inherently backstory. Charlotte purchased Riley McGree and then loaned him out straight away because the club wasn't ready because they were getting everything ready, like sorted, the stadium and all that jazz. What are your thoughts?
I mean, if you're Birmingham, you want to keep him on. He's been an absolute jet for him this season. Great young talent. He's probably the best thing to come out of the A-League in a long while. Part of me wants him to stay in England, but part of me also wants to see him go to the MLS and play top flight football because the MLS is a much more competitive league than it used to be. Probably not as competitive as the Championship, but he could really shine there. So a really good chance either way for Riley, but if it were up to me, the English blooded boil up, I'd probably stay in England, stay in Birmingham.
Yeah, if I had a choice between the two, I'd choose the English route. But look, there's no real losing for him in either situation here, and it's good for the Australian game either way as well.
Yeah, he's also probably got financial incentive to go to the MLS, I'd say, but that's up to him. You only play for a finite amount of time, so I don't really blame players for chasing the dollar.
100%. Do you guys want to move on to carded? Do you guys have any cards this week? And oh, wait. Oh!
Yeah, I've got a big one ready to go. Obviously, my voice is still a little hoarse. My big red card is to whoever lost the megaphone. We need to find that megaphone or get another one because I can't do this every week. Red card, no mega. Get us one.
I have no card this week. I'm not going to start the season off in a negative tone. I'm looking forward to the season opener.
Yeah, I would like to give a bit of a pat on the back to Paramount. I'm loving, and the Channel 10 contract here. I'm loving turning on my TV to see in the news bracket news about other teams, the A-League, getting it hyped up, ads, billboards. This is the most traction I think the league's had in a number of years. It feels fresh. It feels new. It's good. I'm excited.
They're also subliminally sneaking it in as well. I've seen Tara Rushton pop up on a few of Channel 10 shows and a few, little ads here and there where you usually wouldn't see ad time for the A-League. So, yeah, very, very happy with Paramount's promotion. I said I believe it when I see it, and I'm seeing it now, so pretty happy.
Well, that'll actually segue me. There is a card. Red card to Fox for how terrible they were at promoting the game. Because Channel 10 has done more and Paramount have done more in weeks than what Foxtel did in years.
The only thing I probably throw out, Foxtel did that was a positive, but I think that was more on the broadcasters more so than Foxtel themselves. Was I believe it was Adam Peacock used to run a podcast for the A-League or do A-League season previews, not just for one club, but for the broader league. And, myself as a fan of just the whole A-League, I enjoyed listening to those sorts of podcasts. And unfortunately, we don't have anything like a full A-League season preview. And it's something that's a bit beyond, us three as well to do one. We're more Western boys. But hopefully Paramount could do something with that, get on top of that, get some sort of, analysis show. And they probably will bring something into the next season, or at least see how things go. I think that's the only way they could pretty much perfect this is just a bit more of an analysis and pre-game. And yeah, we're rocking. We're here with Paramount.
I want to add on that. Like us, there's many grassroots people making podcasts for fun, and a lot of them are team-based. There's some really great team-based ones out there. like Talking City do an amazing job for fuck's sake. The Jet Stream, Around the Block, that's another great one. They're all supporting the club, but there's also a couple that are A-League across the board centric. Like Destruction in the Box for me was one of my favorites, and that like ended last year, which was shit. But A-League Couch Critics are really good. They're doing a great job. I want to shout out More Than a Game. That podcast, they do EPL and A-League. And yeah, those guys are all cool.
Worth mentioning, the football capital are starting to reach out into the A-League. A couple of Western Sydney boys. We're going to be talking with them and trying to, kick off season preview with them in the near future as well. So definitely worth giving them a listen as well if you are an EPL fan based in Australia. They're a good bunch of eggs.
Yep. On that note, we didn't mention in this segment our lads, the Crossbar Keeper guys.
Save them to last.
An honourable mention. And yeah, shout out to those guys because they do an amazing podcast. We love them and love to shit stir them. Very few people from other teams have been in the Western Hemisphere active in a Nixon mask. That's all I'm saying. So let's move out to our outro. Now, this is a call to arms, everyone. Let's go out and support and make this year the biggest one for Western United. The club, in my opinion, has been very ambitious with its signings and just whole business strategy. But we can't rely on Jack Duncan every week to give us the win. We need to go out there and support the boys. So, mate, if you can get to games, do it. If you can get a membership, do what's in your means. But it's amazing having a club from the western suburbs, and especially someone who grew up in Werribee. This is amazing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our sponsors, Manscaped, A-League Live, Glow Pair, and yeah, support businesses in the West and kick it. Yeah. All West, aren't we?
All West, aren't we?
All West, aren't we?
Right, just killing the outro. Give me a second, lads.
Can I still say it?
Wait.
Hang on. We'll get there.
What's Epstein doing?
Oh, definitely not killing himself.
Ladies, everyone.
All West.